You waiting there. I see you waiting there, guys. I didn't forget about you. That is Frost, my friends. That is fucking Frost. Sorry for the language for all the sensitive people. Look at that. This is a community right beside us, a community park even. Look at, there's a park up here too, guys. This is right beside a slaughterhouse, right beside a pond, a park, an area where people walk. Hey Sloth, hey Chip, hey Alicia. Thank you guys for being here so much. Really appreciate it. Jake, what's happening, guys? So today is a bit of a different day as I'm at a different slaughterhouse, another death hellhole facility. This one is actually, this seems like a beautiful place. This like it seemingly is, right? Nice sunshine. Got a little river ravine here. Little pathway, guys. Got some water flowing. But then guess what? What is that place ahead of us? And who are these misfits? That's Jenny McQueen, Peter McQueen, Cody, the vegan, right? Cody vegan? So we're headed to this ugly, disgusting place that's where there's children that are going to be playing.
Because if you walk in and then they'll
Can you imagine? Hey kids, let's go to the park.
Yeah, it looks as though we're on a nice nature walk, but at the end of the path, something nasty.
Something very nasty coming up, guys. And you can actually smell it. The thing is, and we always say it, like Mel and Steve has said it, Jake has said it, we walk up to these places and the smell is absolutely disgusting. There's a tennis court here, guys. People play tennis right here. So this is actually a halal slaughterhouse, guys. Halal slaughterhouse. And I guess blah, blah, blah with the cat emoji is here as well, which is kind of weird that they have a cat as an emoji, because if you hate animals, why would you have a cat emoji? It's kind of weird, you know, the irony. So yes, guys, this is called Sargent Farms. It is in a neighborhood, as you saw, near a community park. It smells disgusting because it's a freaking slaughterhouse. They kill innocent chickens here every day. They claim to pray over them to make them clean to eat. Although they're all female, they're all genetically engineered, they're all disabled, they're all pathogen filled, full of disease, and they suffer. They suffer just by living, guys. Just by living, they suffer. So we're gonna show you guys the poor chickens and what they're going through. I'm gonna be a little quiet because they're gonna close these gates. How disgusting, huh? That truck is packed. Absolutely packed, guys. So they got another truck there. Those poor chickens, look at them. It's packed like on this death truck. So many of them. I'm gonna guess at least 8, 10, 12. Hey, what? What's the problem? What are you afraid of?
No, take the feeder, yeah?
Why?
Let's go.
Why? What's the problem? What's the problem, my guy? Show us the truth. Humane, ethical. I thought you were praying. Aren't you praying? Aren't you praying that they're going to be okay? What's the problem? What's the problem? What's wrong? What's the problem? Yeah, so? What's the problem? Call the police. What am I doing wrong? What's illegal? What? Are you trying to hide something? How's it going? Good. How are you?
What can I help you with?
I'm just showing the birds before they get killed. What's the problem with that?
No problem.
Yeah. So why is this guy saying he's going to call the cops on me?
Don't worry about it, what he's saying.
Well, I don't see why he would call the cops on me. Aren't you guys transparent? Don't you guys say you treat your animals right?
Yeah, we're very humane with our animals.
Humane? How so? By cutting their throat? They're just baby birds, right? They're 42 days old. Is that feces on the back of your helmet? Looks like it.
Yeah, because I came from live receive.
So why are we doing this, guys? We don't need to do this anymore, right? We know we can live, survive without eating animals, right? So this is what, like almost 10,000 in that truck? I'm no judge, right? Like I used to work in it too. I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I used to work for the CFIA. So I used to work in these places too, bro. And I changed, you know? Because one day I realized that we didn't have to do this anymore. I learned that we didn't have to.
You're actually on our property. Can you go to the sidewalk?
Where's your property line?
Right,
It's right here, is it not?
right where you are.
It's right here.
Technically, you gotta go on the sidewalk.
Is it?
That's where you stand.
Is that technically? Or?
That is our property where you're standing.
It's not what I was told last time, but I'll go to the sidewalk just because you're saying that. Last time I was here, they said I could be up to the fence, so. This was like 2-3 years ago. I can't remember who. But you can change, bro. I changed. Everyone can change. There's no requirement to do this, right? Innocent lives are taken all day, every day. Imagine being one of them. Being in an ammonia-filled shed, claiming halal like it's some thing that's making them feel better. Just gonna go to the front. So he says sidewalk, but where's the sidewalk? Is this the sidewalk? I don't know. Guys, so we're at supposedly a place where you can pray your sins away or something. I don't know. So that's what they say. They pray over the bird that's suffered in the shed, that's genetically engineered, that's a disabled baby. And they claim that somehow that makes it okay to eat them. That's what we've been told. What you can't see or what you can't intake is the smell. You can see the steam coming off of them. So a lot of the birds, when they're stuffed like this, a lot of the birds will suffocate in the middle due to heat. You're like, how is that? Well, because they're in the middle. This guy's waving. I don't know why. So they're in the middle. They're stuck in the middle. They create body heat, and a lot of them suffocate and die that way. I can't tell you how many of them I've seen go through that. So as predicted, they're gonna close the gate here because this industry claims that they care about welfare and they care to let people know what's happening. But obviously they want to hide everything, right? They feel like they have to hide things. So they even have a an outlet here, guys. Look at it. I mean, this isn't a community. The downtown's right here. This isn't a community, guys. They hide everything, right? If it was such a good industry, if it was like such a wonderful thing, then why wouldn't they show everybody everything, right? It's kind of weird, right? So like we have some certification that says that it's okay to do this. Very bizarre, guys. Very bizarre, right? So guys, tell me where you're from. Tell me if you know much about halal. I'm gonna see what's going on here. Apparently a certification allows you to do things to animals. I don't know why it's so secure. I mean, what's there to hide, right? If this was a carrot farm, then do you think they'd have the same security measures? I'm doubting so, right? So they're moving the trucks out. Those are all innocent beings. Look how stacked and packed they are, guys. Because nobody cares about them, right? This is the what? The halal way, apparently. So guys, some things you didn't know. How's it going, man?
You're welcome to stay on the sidewalk. That's private property.
This is private property as well.
It is.
Even though there's parking here?
Yeah, we own the parking.
I see.
So the curb is private property this way. You're welcome to do whatever you like.
Yeah.
You're welcome to document. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. Just we ask you not to come on private property. Otherwise you'll be trespassed. All right? So have a good day. All right. Thank you.
Apparently you can't go on there, you can't go here. You have to stay all the way outside, right? The other day I was told I couldn't even be on a sidewalk, apparently, from some of the chatters. So you can see the crates here, guys. Obviously, you can't smell, but there's gonna be feces and urine all over these crates. They say they try to clean them, but all that's gonna translate onto the ground. I am home, bro. Bro, I'm home. I live in Canada. Imagine that. Go home. Get back to work, bro. What are you doing? So yeah, we're in a little city outside of Toronto. This is called Sargent Farms. They kill thousands of chickens every single day. They don't want anybody to see the birds at all, apparently. They claim everything's private property, which maybe some of it is, I guess. I mean, to me, I say, why not be transparent? I think we're all adults here, right? Aren't we all adults? Why can't we all decide what our food system looks like, right? Yes, imagine being 40 years old. I'm not 40 though, bro. I'm not. I'm older than that. Imagine being that. I wonder why. Well, maybe I'll share some details with you as to why I'm out here. See, guys, I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I used to work for the Canadian government. I used to work in facilities like this. My entire family did. And I realized one day that I didn't have to be a part of this. But the realization took a while because, well, I was indoctrinated, much like probably a lot of you are in the chat. I suffered mentally because of the things I saw. Animals being tortured, seeing legs ripped off. Can you imagine? Seeing piles and piles of dead bodies. If you can imagine seeing animals going through like a... I'm getting flashbacks now. If you can imagine seeing their wings getting cut by a blade and blood splattering everywhere, and seeing mothers give birth to cows on slaughterhouse trucks and then their heads being crushed. I saw a lot of things, right? And so I realized and I learned one day that I could change. But that's why I'm out here, is because I saw the violence, the inherent violence that's in this industry, how people suffered, the humans even. And it's funny because most of the people that work in these places, it's not funny, but most of the people that work in these places are marginalized people, right? They're people that are used, right? They're temporary foreign workers, mostly immigrants, refugees, all these things, right? This guy walked by, he's all triggered. So like, this is what the people that are used, right? It's not you. I mean, maybe the loud people in the chat are the ones that actually killed and took lives, and maybe they're suffering because they don't want to admit or take responsibility for the actions that they did. Maybe they don't want to take responsibility or accountability, because sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, right? Imagine having to admit that you've done wrong for a very long time. Maybe you've taken lives, and if you admit you're wrong, then that's a lot, right? That could be a lot on you to actually have to take responsibility. A lot of people suffer trauma. Most people that take lives, from what I found, remember their first time vividly. They really remember it very well, in fact. So they'll remember descriptions of it. If you take account to ex-slaughterhouse workers and their stories, I mean, they're horrifying. I haven't even read some of the books out there because I'm afraid to read them, to remember some of the things that have been buried in my head from the things that I saw. People talk about local farms all the time. Well, this is why I don't buy factory farm. Well, all those animals are going to go to slaughter. And to be quite honest, the worst things I ever saw were on these local farms. The things that humans do to these animals, because they're just viewed as objects, so it doesn't matter. I mean, anything from SA to just sheer torture, like branding, burning, using objects to put inside of them, all these things. And the thing is, a lot of these farmers, they know about the bad farmer. They know about that person that's doing the bad things, but they never say anything, right? Because they're protecting them, because they don't want to have to even take accountability for themselves, which is crazy, right? They're protecting psychopaths. Like, for example, some of the people in the chat here are probably some of those people, right? They probably really done some awful things to the animals, and this is their way of trying to explain that, or trying to say that it's an okay thing, that it's okay that they tortured animal. It's okay. Like, you see them, they're going crazy right now, right? Some of them, right? Because they've taken lives, or they've probably done even worse, right? To those poor innocent animals. They're probably the guys that that hit the pigs' heads on the grounds, right? Like, how many pigs have you killed? How many piglets are in the dumpsters? Guys, if you go out to your neighborhood, if you go out to your local farms, your communities, just go look in the dumpsters and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You'll see dumpsters full of pigs. See that steam coming up? That's from the chickens. Why is there that much steam? Well, it's a bit cold out, but it's also the fact that they were crammed in there, and most likely, a lot of them have suffocated in the middle. So I can't tell you how many dead birds or dead on arrivals there were. That did happen when I was an inspector. The number's just way too high, but you can even go take a look if they still show the stats on the Canadian Food Inspection Agency website or the USDA website or whatever the counterpart in the UK is. I mean, these animals suffer, and people just don't even think about it. They don't even turn an eye to it because we've been told this is part of the food system. This is normalized. This is normalized violence, guys. That's exactly what it is. Guys, if you can hit like, hit subscribe, tell all your friends. People just really don't know what takes place. Chips actually pointed out a video there that you can go check out. It's 3 minutes. Go there, check it out. 3 minutes, come back. It's standard industry practice. It tells you what's happening with their food system. Let's be honest about it, guys. Let's really look into it and see what happens. I mean, this industry cries and complains and says how transparent it is and how good it is and that they're watching out for our best interests and they're practicing the best welfare standards. Well, can't you check that out for yourself? Can you not be a part of that yourself? I mean, if I ask these guys right now, can I come inside? No, you won't be allowed inside. What if I put on all the biosecurity gear? No, you won't be allowed. Why can't I film it, right? But yet they have all these cameras outside, right? They have all these cameras outside and they're triggered, right? They're coming out, they're watching us on film. They're watching us on film, but we can't film what's going on inside because what? Because they're afraid to show the truth. They don't want us to show the truth, guys. They don't want us sharing the truth because, let's be honest, most of the people watching right now are animal people. They care about animals. They would never do that to animals themselves. They wouldn't even think about it. They wouldn't even be a part of this. They would never in a million years work in a place like this. So why on earth would you want to pay for it, guys? We don't need to pay for this. We don't need to be a part of this system. We can very easily move away from it. Animals are suffering right at this moment. They're getting killed right now. Supposedly these animals are being killed in a halal fashion, pointing in a certain direction. And some of the rules governing halal say that the animals can't suffer. Well, where do you think these chickens were living? They were living in factory farms, guys. They were living in an ammonia-filled shed. They're disabled babies. Guys, did you know that all the chickens that you eat are female? Every single one of them that you eat is a female. You're eating female disabled babies, guys. That's who you're eating. Not to mention, you're eating their rotten corpse that's been put on ice and whatever pathogenic bath to clean them off. Guys, you don't even know. Do you even know what E. coli is? Do you know what salmonella is? Do you know what campylobacter is? Look them up. Go take a look at one of those pathogens because it's likely that 1 in 4, maybe all of us have contracted a pathogen. You know what the pathogens come from? It comes from the feces of the animals, right? Comes from their feces, guys. Because they're covered in their feces because they live in these confined spaces. And even if they don't live in confined spaces, whoa, that was really aggressive. Unreal, man. So guys, again, always have your head on a swivel out here. People are going to be triggered. They're going to be mad. They're going to be aggressive and just turn in and come up on a sidewalk while you're standing there on a sidewalk and drive like a maniac. So just be careful. Yeah, I'm a little bit triggered, semi-good person. I'm triggered because the animals are being in there right now. Their necks are being slit. Those female birds that you eat, those female disabled babies that you eat that are 42 days old, they're getting their necks slit right now. And they're getting prayed over as if that's gonna help. And they're gonna be chopped up and you're gonna eat their body parts when you don't have to, right? Guys, challenge22.com. If you don't wanna be a part of this anymore, you can literally move away from it. Very easy, it's simple. They'll give you a 22-day challenge. They'll give you meal ideas, recipes, but just always do it for the animals. When you do it for the animals, you stay vegan, and that's been documented. People know that. So again, we are at a halal slaughterhouse. As you saw earlier, the birds were confined. There were thousands of birds on that truck. I'm gonna guess between 10 and 12,000 on that truck alone. That's a lot of birds per truck, per crate. I can't imagine. There was a bunch of steam coming off, so that indicates that the birds were probably likely suffocating, most likely in the middle. The owner or workers, whatever, came out. They were pretty triggered that we were just filming, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras that I can see, probably more. So what are they hiding? You know, this industry talks about humane. If halal was done in such a special way, wouldn't it be a miracle? Wouldn't we all want to just watch it and see it? Wouldn't it actually turn humans on to watch the animals get killed? Like if you can imagine seeing roadkill, I mean, you all salivate when you see roadkill, right? That's a mandatory thing, right? I mean, wouldn't you salivate when you see the little chicken's head being cut off? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you salivate when you see them getting chucked onto a metal shackle and seeing their leg rip off or their wing get broken in half when the guy grabs their wing to throw them onto the shackle? Wouldn't that make you hungry, guys? Why wouldn't that make you hungry? I mean, if it wouldn't, then doesn't that say something about where we are? Doesn't it say something about what you've been told to do as humans? Why do you just keep listening to the narrative, guys? The narrative that we have to eat animals. I mean, I've been vegan for 12 years. I've also worked in slaughterhouses. I've seen exactly what takes place in this industry. And I think if anybody saw what I did, I've been to multiple slaughterhouses. I've been to more farms than anybody else in this chat probably. So think about it. Sorry? Oh, I will, yeah. So think about it, guys. If we're transparent and if we're loving this industry, why doesn't this industry just open the doors? Open it up, show the world. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, is it not? Shouldn't we revere this? I mean, if it's done in such a way that we love it, that we want to be a part of it, or do we want to surveil the people just with a camera outside? No, you can get where do the animals get their protein, guys? Where do animals get their protein from? Plants, right? So this idea that people are struggling with protein, that's kind of hilarious. Who's struggling with protein? I've yet to meet somebody. I mean, if you take in enough calories, generally you're okay, right? That kind of makes sense, guys. Let's not be naive. Let's not listen to the crazies in the chat, guys. There's going to be a bunch of crazies in the chat because, again, likely they've taken lives. Likely they've slammed the piglet's head on the floor, on the concrete, and they've thrown them in a garbage can, guys. Likely that's the case. They've done that, and it's traumatized themselves as well, right? They probably as well traumatized themselves by doing so. So guys, hit like, hit subscribe, tell all your friends. We are in a little town outside of Toronto, the place that they claim that they pray over the birds, so that way it's a cleaner bird to eat. I mean, they're all female birds, first of all. They all lived in an ammonia-filled shed. Many of them are suffering from diseases, pathogens, dermatitis, tumors, little bugs that crawl on them. I mean, this is common, right? So how is that a clean animal supposedly, right? Or is it that you bless the bird, but you stun the bird as well? So a lot of people don't know. A lot of people in the halal community. I mean, I would say if you were going to be true halal, you would not eat animals. You'd just be kind and leave animals alone, and you can volunteer your time, give money, do charity, whatever. You could do those things, right? And that would be like halal. Just being vegan would be halal. I think the other stuff is haram, and this is your test. And you're being tested on whether or not you're going to follow the masses and just be a drone bot NPC and just listen to what you're told and just eat animals, have them abused for you, have them genetically engineered to be warped, disabled babies. I mean, again, you're eating all the chickens you eat. They're all female, okay? Because all the males are put into a giant blender, if you didn't know. Their first day of life. All of them are female because they grow bigger thighs, bigger breasts. So you're eating disabled female 42-day-old babies that have pathogens like E. coli, Salmonella, Campylobacter, Listeria. And they suffered inside an ammonia-filled shed with respiratory issues. Like, that's who you're eating, guys. That's who you're eating. Think about that for just a few minutes. That's who you're eating. Next time you go and you see somebody else eating a baby on their plate, that just know that they've been genetically engineered to grow so fast that they're warped, they're disabled, that they would never be that size without the genetically engineered whatever that they're giving them, injecting them with, editing their genes and shit like that. Dystopian shit. And some of them actually don't take two. In fact, my mom, when she worked on a slaughterhouse kill floor and she took lives, she remembers that what appeared to be little babies, right? But in fact, it was just the same aged chickens that didn't take to the genetic engineering. So they were actually the size that they normally probably would be. But she thought they were babies. No, in fact, these chickens, they weigh, I think it's like 250 pounds. How much you would weigh at 42 days old? You would weigh 252 pounds if you were equivalent to what those babies weigh. Can you imagine that? So you're eating that. You are eating that, guys. And not to mention the cruelty aspect behind it, the most important part is what they go through. Some of them are going to be electrocuted. Imagine putting your finger inside the socket and electrocuting yourself. Imagine having that on your head, okay? Imagine having your leg put onto a metal shackle and torn occasionally, having your hip ripped out or your leg completely ripped off or your arm completely ripped off. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens, guys. Don't kid yourselves. That's exactly what happens. And imagine being with all your friends, you can barely move, and you're shitting, they're having shit and piss, and you're sliding around in your shit and piss, and living in your shit and piss. Can you imagine that? Just living like that. That's your life. You're living exactly like that. And then, moreover, then you go get hung upside down, have your hip dislocated, whatever that is, and then you get chopped up and eaten. That's the life you're giving these poor innocent animals. The people that are triggered are the ones that have done this work. They're the ones who are trying to justify it. They're the ones who don't want to take accountability. I've taken accountability. That's why I'm out here. I'm trying to explain that people can change. Hunter Toby, he's a prime example of a guy who used to work in hunting, or not work, he used to go hunt. And he fights back the hunting community and says, you don't have to do it. There's deer farms. Why do you have deer farms? You know, so he understands that you don't have to do it. And he's taken action and he's decided, you know what? I like animals. I don't think they should be shot in the face for me. I don't think they should be trophies. I don't think the thrill of the kill is worth taking their lives. Then you look at someone like Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. She literally divorced her husband because she was like, you know what? I don't care if I'm a Texas rancher. I don't care if I'm gonna get ostracized by the community. I could care less about who's gonna give me shit about this. Those cows aren't gonna go to slaughter anymore on my behalf, under my name. I'm not gonna make money or profiteer off that anymore. And that's what she did. She stopped and she changed, and now she's an advocate. Or whistleblowers like, I forget how to pronounce her name, Madeline. She works for Justified, I think it is. So she whistleblew on poor innocent animals being tortured in lab facilities. And she worked in it, and she suffers the consequences of that, and she took accountability. She took responsibility, and now she's an advocate telling people about what's taking place. There's many slaughterhouse workers that have crossed the line. There's recently ones that have left the job basically because of these live streams. So we can all change, right? We can't taste. People are talking about taste, live for bacteria. Look at these comments, guys. Listen to these comments. I know most of you aren't like those guys. I know most of you don't resonate with those people because they're triggered. They're just too lazy to change their way of life. They don't care enough to change, and they're miserable inside. I mean, it's clear. If you can think it's okay to eat little female baby animals, I mean, think about that. What does that say about your character? What does that say about who you are? We can all change. Maybe some of you don't know. And there's documentaries that I'm sure Chip and others are providing in the chat. There's also Dominion the movie, which is on YouTube that you can watch. And that will show you exactly standard industry practice, what takes place in this industry day in and day out to these poor innocent animals, to the tune of 92 billion land animals each and every year. That doesn't include the ones that are dying on farms, that are factory farmed, like fish. Fish are factory farmed and they're fed bone and soy. How does that make sense, right? Have you ever seen the conditions that factory farm fish live in? How many trillions of fish, sea life, do we take out of the ocean? How many do we take out of the ocean? Guys, we're destroying the planet. All for a simple, trivial taste pleasure. And it's what's even more incredible is most people will put plants on their body parts that they eat. They'll sauce their body part that they eat up because they got to make it palatable. Think about that for a second. Guys, we are in Toronto, just south of or west of Toronto. We are at a death house. This isn't a community by homes, by neighborhoods, by community centers, by children. Children play in this area. There's a little lake stream that goes behind this place. Can you imagine the drinking water here? Can you imagine the smell? There's literally a factory outlet right beside this place. Can you imagine that this is okay to be in this neighborhood? If you weren't aware, these communities that have slaughterhouses have higher rates of violent crime. It's no surprise, right? It shouldn't come as a surprise. So higher rates of violent crime. So things like SA and grape are fairly common. Because if you can imagine that if a worker's willing to fondle an animal, there's probably more risk at doing that to humans. PTSD, drug, alcohol abuse, much higher. That includes workplace injuries. These workers are suffering amputations, musculoskeletal disorders, eye, ear, you lose your hearing, and they're contracting pathogens. I myself contracted pathogens So I contracted E. coli and Campylobacter. So what happened to me is I was really sick for a couple weeks, and a little bit later I developed blood clots in my lungs. They couldn't figure out why, and then they asked me where I worked, and they're like, oh, that makes sense. What do you mean it makes sense? Well, you know, workers generally who work in this industry contract pathogens. Oh, well, that wasn't told to me. I'm sure it isn't told to anybody, because nobody cares. They'll give you the PPE equipment, but they won't tell you that you're at risk for mental disorders. They won't tell you you're at higher risk for alcohol and drug addiction. They won't tell you that you're high at risk for musculoskeletal disorders. They won't tell you you're at risk for violent crime. They won't tell you any of that, right? Because why would they? Because they're hiring minorities, immigrants, refugees, racialized people. It's not like they're hiring the regular guy who goes to university, right? Why would they? They're not going to hire that guy. Nobody in their right mind is going to work in this place, right? No, you're going to use vulnerable people. Of course. Why would you think they have a course at university that says, hey, slaughterhouse killer, we're going to give you this job. By the way, here's some PTSD and give you some vodka on your way out. They're not going to do that. Think about it. Imagine if your child came up to you and said, Mom, Dad, I want to work in a slaughterhouse. I would love to. What would you do? Would you say, okay, son, absolutely, I want you to cut and hack heads all day long. That what a wonderful career that sounds like. No, you would never do that. You would probably seek therapy for them. If you saw your kid kicking around an animal, you'd probably seek therapy for them. But this is somehow justified? Guys, wake up, smash like, tell your friends, let's stop the animal torture and abuse. Let's support people like that Chip guy who's out every single day on the street busting it, speaking to the public, helping them align their values and their morals, just like Mel and Steve, just like Alex today. There's so many of us out there, Jake. There's so many of us out there, Jeremy, Loeb as well. It's if you go to my community post, you'll see a bunch of people there. Go subscribe to them. Go follow them. They're out there. They're busting it. They're talking to the people. They're getting uncomfortable. If you're an activist or if you're wanting to get active, there's many ways to get involved. Just go to or DM me on Instagram if you want. I can help you get started, or reach out to one of the awesome people like Martin here in the chat. We can help you get active for the animals. Exactly. Watch Dominion the movie, Earthlings, and meet your meat. See your victims, guys. I highly recommend too, if you're on the fence, go to a sanctuary, guys. Go to a sanctuary. Go visit one. Go see the animals. Go see the individuals for who they are, because that's who they are. They're individuals. They have their own personalities. Chickens can see in more colors than we can, right? Go watch some sanctuary footage. Go see them. Go see how they are, how they react. Cows, chickens, pigs. I mean, they're all individuals, guys. They all have families. They all want to live. They don't want to be tortured. And we're all the same in all the things that matter, right? We're all the same in the things that matter. And, you know, I changed. I look at myself as a marker. If I can change, somebody whose whole family worked in the slaughterhouse industry, somebody whose entire family who worked in this, if I can change, how can't you? I mean, you know what veganism is now. You've maybe seen the documentaries. So what's holding you back? I don't think a little trivial pleasure should hold you back. You know, they closed the gates here, guys, right? They've closed the gates here, but this industry claims they're transparent. There's humane and welfare conditions. They claim they protect the animals. They claim to care about the conditions they live in. Have you been to a shed? Have you been to a factory farm shed? Have you seen what these animals go through? If you haven't, go watch the 3-minute movie challenge that Chip has placed in here many times. Go watch Dominion the movie, bookmark it. See the truth, man. Be a part of the truth. Why not be a part of the truth? This guy drove like a bit of a maniac earlier. I don't know why. I don't know what the problem is. Just triggered as usual, like these workers. I mean, if they're so transparent, if they're like not worried about what happens, then why do they get so upset if a camera's on them? I mean, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cameras. 7 cameras just by walking down here. What's the problem, guys? Why not show the truth? I think it's fair to show the truth. I think you're all adults. Don't you think you're adults? Don't you think you can handle the truth? Don't you think you should have eyes on the kill floor and see exactly what takes place? Guys, if you want to know what happens in halal slaughterhouses, okay, as an example, go check out Joey Carbstrong. He's an animal rights activist in the UK, if you haven't heard of him. Go check out his expose of a halal slaughterhouse. Then you can see for yourself what actually takes place in places that claim they care about animals. See, I believe there's probably a group of people that don't understand or know. They're just buying into this lie like halal or farm fresh or chicken fresh or whatever the case may be. And it's easy to get caught up in that. Like, I talked to some people that believe that pasture raised eggs and farm fresh eggs and all these words ahead of words, believe that they meant something, that somehow the animals were treated better, that somehow there was a better way for the animals because somehow people thought they had to eat animals. But this just isn't the case, guys. If you have to put a word in front of something, always take pause. If you are on the side that everybody else is on, then you might want to take pause, take time and reflect on what's going on. So I'm with some amazing activists here today. And we brought some signs. This is Cody. Hi, Cody. And as you can see, those were victims in this industry, much like the chickens you just saw going into this death house. And there it is, exactly, Peter. Animals do not want to die. We can live without doing that to them. Look at those blue eyes. I mean, guys, think about it. Would you want to be in that position? Would you ever conceive of being in that position? I mean, Peter, how long have you been vegan?
35 years.
35 years. 35 years, guys, without exploiting animals, without viewing animals as commodities, and defending animals, guys, as a prime example that we don't have to be a part of this industry anymore. I wish I would have known at another age. I mean, it's crazy to think that. I can't even imagine your time, because a lot of people probably didn't even know what veganism was. They didn't even think in those terms, right?
Well, I was vegetarian for a good 10 years before I realized I became vegetarian as a teenager. And my mid-teens, and before I was vegetarian for 10 years before I knew anything about or had any inkling that there was any issues with the dairy and egg industry.
Right,
and it
right.
took me another 5 years to transition, which was kind of long, but I mean, I decreased a lot initially, but it was actually quite hard to find replacements and such.
Yeah, back then, I mean,
yeah.
like compared to now, but you
now
but you still did it, right?
I did it. It took me too long, but as most vegans say, I should have gone vegan earlier.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
regret
of course.
not, but on the other hand, it makes me be understanding of others who
Yeah.
have a difficulty transitioning. And,
Right, exactly. Well, thank you, Peter, for being out here today. Inside this place. Well, maybe we go on this side then. Maybe they're picking up some dead bodies. No, guys, they won't do that. They're going to send them to a rendering facility. Guys, I encourage you to go out to a rendering facility. All you have to do is take in the smell and realize that's where your food came from. Watch how fast this door is open and closed. And those poor babies. Guys, they're hiring if you want to go work in that. Yeah. Hugh, I'm the whistleblower. All the animal rights activists are whistleblowers. We are whistleblowing on this industry. This industry needs to be shut down. It's an abomination. It causes trauma to workers, but more importantly, it kills innocent lives. It confines them and exploits them. It views them as commodities. Now imagine if the world went around commodifying dogs and cats and just viewing them that way. I think you would probably have something to say. I think a lot of people would have something to say. They would stop. They would fight for them. So we have these lines. The workers kind of shut us out because there's things to hide, guys. I mean, forget about transparency. I mean, wait, didn't this industry say that they're transparent? I thought they did. So I'm just gonna bring you to Cody, guys. Cody, tell the chat, how long have you been vegan?
I've been vegan for like
5 years. And if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 18.
So you're 18. So you started to realize these things at about 13, am I right? And so Cody, why did you feel that it was so important to speak up and fight for the animals?
Because animals, they deserve to live, and they don't deserve to die and to be tortured and to be mutilated and to be chopped up into pieces. And when you go to the grocery store, you just see neatly packaged body parts, but you don't see these places that are killing animals. And they have these black covers over the fences right now, and they do this on purpose because they don't want people to see what is happening to the animals. And yet, like David said, they always say they're all about transparency and that it's all humane, but we know that that can't be further from the truth.
Exactly, Cody. Thank you so much for being a young and brave activist, for standing up for the animals, for fighting for them. We need more people your age standing up and getting out there for them as well. Guys, I'm just going to bring you to Jenny, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So Jenny, like Peter, you've been a long time vegan, yes?
Yeah, over 30 years now.
Over 30 years.
I'm kind of old.
Well, Jenny, like I understand that you have a trial coming up in May.
The most ridiculous thing, I mean, it's basically activist suppression and oppression. There's a big exhibition at Toronto, which is called the Canadian National Exhibition. We've been protesting there for years. I had a peace bond, talked about not going into agricultural spaces, and they arrested me for protesting there last year.
Yeah, we're just kind of laughing at the comments here, but go ahead.
People.
There are crazy
Yeah.
people, but go ahead, Jenny.
Yeah, the trolls.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's like a 4-day trial, and we'll have an expert witness too. So, in my view, it's basically putting the industry on trial. Because already we had a win. They took the pig display. They had a mobile pig display, which in 2024 they were touting as the best thing ever. Come see it. We've got pioneers working. It's the best experience. 2025. Internal documents show, activist pressure. We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to get negativity by the way the pigs are on display, so they cancelled it. So honestly, you have to keep at it. You have to keep fighting, keep protesting, do pressure campaigns, work behind the scenes, even if it does end up in a criminal trial. I'm a criminal anyway.
Yeah, you're such a criminal, Jenny. Look at you with the typical markers, the tattoos, and the rings and the.
Look, I wear t-shirts. Oh my God.
Oh no, you wear a T-shirt that says Rose's Law. Exactly, Jenny, and you were able to easily move towards veganism even when we didn't have some of these the knowledge we do today, the plentiful options that we do today as far as food is concerned. But you always are there for the animals, always sticking up for them and fighting for them.
Right.
And I gotta say, it's very empowering for someone like myself to stand by you and get out with you, guys. If you don't know Jenny, then you don't, I don't know what you're doing. I like, seriously, it's crazy. You gotta go follow her, go subscribe to her. She's out there busting it for the animals every day. So is her husband Peter. These guys are out here every day, even driving me around occasionally. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. And
my stuff is mainly on Instagram.
yeah.
All sorts of disruptions, lockdowns, police interceptions, that type of thing. So,
Yeah.
I should put more of the videos on YouTube, but I kind of.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I mean, yeah. Thank you, Jenny. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's guys, it's no problem, right? It's like you have long-term vegans, animal rights activists. You have Cody, who's young, who's been an activist since he's 13. Like, what the hell, man? And then you have like people kind of like in the chat talking about Cody and saying things about him, like La Greek, which is kind of hilarious because at Cody's age, he knows better than you, bro. At Cody's age, he knows better than you, bro. Guys, hit like, tell all your friends, subscribe, go follow all the animal rights activists in the chat. Go follow Jenny, go follow Cody. I mean, these guys are out here busting it every single day. This place smells like shit, like absolute garbage. There's literally a community center right beside it. There's a stream and a park over here. Absolutely abhorrent, disgusting. There's a downtown literally right here. And people got to smell that shit. This place here talks about 100% halal certified. Ooh, okay. Talks about Ontario farm fresh chicken. Guys, these are the victims, right? These are the victims of what you pay for. And so it can't be even more transparent than that. I mean, I feel like you could tell a 5-year-old this, that animals don't want to die. I think the 5-year-old would tell you that that animals don't want to die. I mean, you can go look online and find hundreds, probably more, thousands of videos of kids playing with animals, petting animals, being around animals, even so-called farmed animals. I mean, guys, think about it. Open up your heart. Be compassionate. Be kind. We don't have to do this to others. We really don't. We can live without eating animals. Apparently, I'm garbage. You are the garbage. Yes, thank you very much, Dennis, for projecting. Very much appreciate you pushing the algorithm. Guys, the trolls, I don't mind, eh? You guys, the trolls, you know what's ironic? Ironic about the trolls is that you guys are the ones that are getting me the thousands and thousands, 100,000 views, and yet you're the ones who want to support this industry. Yet you're getting the message out there to all these people. You're growing my account, and one day, there will be a reckoning. Oh yes, when I get enough subs, I'm going to get rid of all the trolls. And all that time you spent here trolling me, calling me this, calling me fat, calling me skinny, in the same stream, actually. All the trolls that made fun of whatever, the animals and all this shit, you guys will be blocked to never see me again. Anyways, guys, please hit like, hit subscribe, tell all your friends. We are at a death house. It fucking reeks here. I can't even begin to tell you the smell. It's like vomit. It smells like vomit plus blood plus shit. Like all combined together. I don't know, like I'm guessing maybe that's what's happening. Maybe workers are in there throwing up. I wouldn't be surprised. So now they lift the roof up on this slaughterhouse truck, right? They wait till they get inside. However, all those poor chickens that were suffering in the middle of the truck, right? Because that's where they they'll suffocate, didn't have that exposure to the air. So I would almost guarantee that there's a number of birds that died in the middle because these places just don't care. Because what's going to happen is those animals that didn't make it to your plate will go to a rendering plant with the disease, the cancers, the tumors, the contamination. Those will go to like the feces and the urine. Those will go to a rendering plant, and that will be heated up and given to your companion animal that you say you love so much, that you're feeding them that shit, that disgusting shit that you wonder why all these dogs die so early, because you're feeding them disgusting cancerous shit. That's what will happen. So just so you guys are aware, so maybe some of you don't know, maybe some of you guys actually care about your companions, and maybe you'll look into these things. Go to a rendering, guys, Google rendering facility by you and go just park beside it. Go walk beside it. Take a big inhale and see if that's something you want to be a part of. Also, guys, go out to your farmers' fields and you know, just on the side of the road. I mean, you don't have to go onto their property, because we wouldn't want that, would we? Right, activists? Go onto the farmers, like the side roads. You'll see their garbage bins, right? You'll see them everywhere. Go look inside those garbage bins. You're going to see a whole whack of dead bodies. I mean, some of the people in this chat are probably responsible for that. They slam piglets' heads on the grounds. You know, they'll execute mother sows because it's just too expensive to bring them to the slaughterhouse. Well, tell me what I don't know. The stoner goat 420. Okay, sure, buddy. I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I work for the Canadian government, 15 years. I've been on more farms and been to more slaughterhouses than everyone in the chat. So I do have a bit of experience, although you don't really need experience to have kindness. You just open up your heart, you be kind, you be, you know, someone who is in alignment with their heart and their values. A lot of people say they love animals, but they send them to slaughter, or people say they love animals and they eat the ones that are sent to slaughter. It's kind of weird, right? And Ellie, like you keep dodging. You said you would go into Discord. You lied. You keep dodging, Ellie. Why is it, Ellie Gonzalez? What are you afraid of? You say all these things, right? You know how to use guns. Who gives a shit? Do you know how to fly? Do you know how to swim faster than a dolphin? Like, you're using all these. What if someone's smarter than you, Ellie? Does that mean they can do? What's this might makes right bullshit all about? So if someone's stronger than someone who's weaker, they can just do whatever they want them. They can impress them. They can grape them. They can just do whatever the hell they want to them. I don't think so, Ellie. That's a really bad take. That's a really bad philosophy in life. I think you should reconsider things. Go watch that. Brave enough to watch what you support. I dare you. Go watch it. 3 minutes, come back, tell us what you saw. Exactly. You are full of it, Ellie. You're probably a paid troll. I don't know. Maybe people are paid trolls. I don't know. This is what I was thinking today as I was coming here, guys, is like, what do you get out of trolling? Is there someone who can just like tell me? I was going to ask ChatGPT, but I forgot to ask, what do you get out of trolling? Like, there has to be some sort of dopamine hit, right? Like, just going into someone's chat and trying to shit on them, like, fuck you, or whatever it is. Like I'm just trying to understand the idea behind it. Because if I didn't like something, right? If I didn't like what was going on, or maybe even if I disagreed with what was going on, I certainly probably wouldn't stick around and like, you know, do all that stuff. It's kind of weird, right? I'm just curious from someone who's glorified troll, just to give me a little bit of perspective. I was always curious. Like, some people are like, oh, I can't believe you're saying this. I can't believe you're like this. And then you say all this stuff. Blood money, guys. We can change. I changed. Very easy to change. We don't need this blood money anymore, right? All those innocent 42-day-old females that are getting executed every single day, guys. You don't need to do it. Be better. Like, I'm just trying to understand it, guys. Oh my God, the fucking smell, guys. This is in a neighborhood. I really, I wish I could bottle this up and send it to everybody in here that supports it. Dante, go work in a slaughterhouse. I've already been to a psychiatrist. Go work in a slaughterhouse, Dante. Go watch the animals be executed the way I did, okay? Go see the thousands of dead bodies. Go see frozen bodies, frozen heads to crates, because that's what I saw, right? Frozen heads to crates. Go see these hens when they're put on a shackle, a metal shackle. You can watch their legs just rip off while they're still alive. Go see that, Dante. Go tell me if that would affect you. Go see that, Dante. Go check out. Go to a slaughterhouse. Go apply. Go work for a slaughterhouse and watch their legs get ripped off while they're alive. And tell me how much you love that. Tell me how much you enjoy that, Dante. Because that's exactly what happens. Imagine your legs were hung up on a metal fucking shackle. Imagine your arm was ripped off because someone decided to throw you in a box. Like, humans are just so pathetic and human-centric. It's amazing. The apathy that's in this world is a plague, man. Such a plague. Adam. So you can't respect them? You think they should be tortured? You go see thousands of birds in a skull tank because the line got broken and they fucking ended up missing the neck cut, and they went into a fucking skull tank and they burned to death. You go see that and get that out of your fucking head. These people, man. Just zero apathy, zero empathy, all apathy or psychopathy. These people don't give a shit. They do not care. They probably get off on it. Like this guy said, steak sounds good, right? This guy's always going to be a loser his entire life. This is what he's going to do his entire life. He's miserable, probably has no friends, probably was bullied. Now he's the bullier, right? You take on roles in life, right? This is what happens in slaughterhouses. Imagine you froze to death. Your head froze to death from urine, and urine froze, attached itself to a fucking crate. Imagine your whole body was covered in feces and you froze to death in that feces. Like, eat shit, man. That's actually who you're eating. You're eating an animal that was covered in shit. Quite literally. And piss. Piss and shit. Congratulations. That's what you're fighting for. Insane. Insane. How is that not hate? How is that not violent? To wish that upon anybody. A little 42-day-old female disabled baby. Congratulations, guys. Humanity is just such a great piece of work, right? Insane. Absolutely insane. It's not enough that they're genetically engineered, transported in any type of weather condition, right? Who cares if they burn to death or if they're freeze to death, right? That doesn't matter, right? Because we can have companion animals like this guy who's walking with his dog, right? To feel better about our choices. How you doing? Good. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Oh, I guess animals don't care. That's why they just stay there when they're tortured, right, Martin C? They just stay there. They don't care. If you were to step on a dog's foot, the dog wouldn't freak out. The dog would be fine with it. He would just not care. That makes a lot of sense. No, Ralph, I guarantee you, Ralph, you've taken lives, Ralph, right? How many lives have you taken, Ralph? Yeah. Where? No. How many lives have you taken, Ralph? See, guys, a lot of you in the comments are probably reasonable people. but the people in the chat that are freaking out, that are losing their minds, because I'm calling them out on their behavior. A lot of them worked in catching crews, chicken catching crews. They probably beat the shit out of those poor chickens or turkeys, just threw them around, chucked them into crates. They didn't give a shit. They had to lose their empathy. They had to lose themselves while they were doing this job, right? And the more they did it, the more it became normalized. And now they're trying to suck up or pretend that what they do is not wrong when we all know it's wrong, right? And so that's what happens, guys. Don't listen to them. They're the ones that need help. They're the ones that got to accept responsibility, take accountability. And at some point, it's going to have to happen. At some point, the world will change, right? The world will get better. I think we're just in a really, I think we're just at the what's that? What? Why don't you get a job? Get to work. Go. Yeah, exactly. Go to work. Oh, man. The world will get better. I believe it will. I wouldn't be out here if I didn't. I just get pretty upset sometimes when I see all the apathy. But then I got to remember it's conditioning. It's like deep conditioning. Maybe some of these people grew up. Like you see some of the farmers, they drive their kids to drop off the animals at slaughter. They probably, beat the shit out of the animals right in front of their kids. So it doesn't, so it kind of conditions the kids to normalize the violence against animals. So they think it's okay. So they've grown up that way their entire lives. And only a few people maybe can get out of that. But I think at some point, like you look at dairy, for example, it's on decline, right? Dairy's on decline. And people actually know what veganism is nowadays. They're starting to learn and know. And I think at some point, people are just going to be like, well, the vegans are right. We shouldn't hurt animals. We shouldn't confine animals. We shouldn't beat the shit out of them. We shouldn't be like that towards them. So I think at some point, eventually people will change. And that's what I'm out here for. So I think there's going to be some people in the chat. Like if you looked at Mel and Steve's chat today, I don't even know. Like there's so many people saying, I'm done eating animals. I'm done. People like Cody, for example, he's inspiring a whole new generation to change. If you're not following him, go to his Instagram. I'm trying to get him on YouTube, but he's a little shy sometimes. I'm just kidding. Go follow Cody Vegan on Instagram. There's a lot of change. We see our food systems changing quite a bit. I'm sure currently there's more animals being eaten, but I think that's just probably, what I think that is? I think people are just getting their last little hurrah in, and I think we're going to change. Cities are adopting plant-based treaties. University students are like really open-minded towards change. Like if you look at Allied Scholars, Faraz is right bang on when Dr. Faraz, he's getting students to change, leaders to change, and they're going to be the future. They're going to be the activists that are going to change the world. So yeah, I think we got momentum on our side. This is another thing too, is like these live streams are kicking off. Like, I mean, I had 108,000 people tune in on Friday, 108,000 on a YouTube live, guys. How insane is that, right? So if I can reach that many people, there's going to be a percentage of those people that will change. There's going to be a percentage of people that remain like morally bankrupt. But you know what? Maybe eventually someday they change too. Maybe they're forced to change. Maybe they don't have a choice. Maybe society finally adopts different ideas on not viewing animals as commodities. There's lots of ways I think it's going to change. So yeah, well, yeah, that's exactly it, Sloth. Like a lot of people might not like what I'm saying, but it is the truth. I mean, they are females. Every chicken that you eat is a female. She's got an inflamed, enlarged breasts. She's got inflamed, enlarged thighs, just so you can eat them, right? All the males are sent into a giant grinder their first day of life. They're considered useless. These are facts, right? They're entirely facts. I mean, you can just watch a video to know that, right? So again, why would you want to be the reason? Why would you want to be that reason they have to go and go through that nightmare? Like it's really a nightmare for them, right? They have no idea what the hell's going on. 42 days old. I mean, they can barely move. They're disabled, right? Their legs grow not at the same length that the rest of their body does. They're like genetic freak shows. They're Frankenstein animals. And people want to pretend that that doesn't happen, but it does. I mean, that's all the animals you eat, really. All the cows you eat are, like, cows aren't supposed to be that big. Look how big they are. They've been genetically engineered to be massive, so massive, huge. It's crazy. It's the same with all the species of animals that people eat. It's for profits, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're willing to put a human inside a death house to kill thousands and thousands of animals, have them turn to drugs, alcohol, PTSD, all these things, of course you're not going to give a shit about animals. And who suffers the most? Well, it's all the animals being killed, exploited, and used, right? Look at... Please tell me there aren't chickens in there.
Looks like it.
There can't be. Why would the
Yeah,
tarps
there's
be
crates.
on?
There's
Why?
crates in there.
No, I know there's crates, but sometimes they're empty. But why would there be... In this temperature, there shouldn't be any... That's strange. In this temperature, there shouldn't be any tarps. So if there are birds in there, that's essentially torturing them. Guys, please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends. I'm getting out here as much as possible to share the truth with you. The truth is, we don't need to exploit animals or use them. We can all live vegan, we can live healthy and fine without exploiting others. It's not mandatory to eat them. Is that a head? Why are the tarps on? Why are the tarps on? I really... I hope there aren't chickens in there, bro. See if they open the tarps. Jenny, were there chickens in there? That just passed here, this one? Yeah. This one here with the yellow tarps? They should not have tarps on them, especially on both sides. That's crazy, man. I guarantee you there's dead chickens on there. Guaranteed. That's fucking mad. Oh, right, garbage truck's coming.
So I filmed the other one coming in and I zoomed in.
What's that? You gotta... Tell me to get it. Guys, that's crazy. So they put the tarps on when they shouldn't be. Did you guys see any chickens in there? There are too. You eat baby birds? Is that what you just said? These fucking people are triggered, man. How can they have double tarps? Wow. So they had double the tarps on them. They're not supposed to have 2 tarps on them like that. That's insane. They shouldn't have double tarps on it
It's
though.
inside the crate. This is the other top one that went in the other slab. There's white inside there. So that's...
It's not even cold out. They suffocate when they have the tarps on. That's why they generally only put 1 tarp to the side so they can get oxygen flowing through.
Okay.
These guys just
But I always remember Maple Leaf
Yeah.
slaughterhouse that
You would-
we would be there witnessing at night.
Yeah.
Well, when it was out, when they had the slaughterhouse up in Toronto.
yeah.
And at certain times of the year when it was colder, they would come covered, completely covered.
Yeah,
And
but it would be really cold,
It'd be
right?
quite cold.
And not like a day like today though.
fairly cool, but not. Yeah,
But
not
it-
Shouldn't
freezing.
be.
But it should be maybe
Yeah.
1 tarp,
Right. Yeah.
if that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
because they.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. I would, you can find out how many DOAs there are on certain trucks. You just have to get the license plate number or the time. So it's what, 9:09? So maybe we can call Animal Alliance and say, look, because there's procedures that they have to follow internally that the inspector should be following up with. See the waste guys talking shit?
Oh, were they?
Yeah. He's like, I eat meat. I'm like, okay. Well, it doesn't seem like you're succeeding yourself, Unknown Warrior. You're pretty quiet, bro. Why don't you start your own channel? It can be called I Exploit Animals. How about that? See how many people will follow you. Death truck. So guys, I'm out in Milton. Oh, someone's car is going off. I'm in Milton. It's near Toronto. This is apparently a halal slaughterhouse, but all the frontline employees, the frontline staff, the guys really making bank, they're actually like white people, which is ironic, right? Weirdly, they have tarps on, and it's probably a little too warm for them to have tarps on. So those poor disabled 42-day-old female birds likely suffered. There's probably a bunch that died just because nobody gives a shit. And the worst thing that would happen to a company like this, even if they were proven to do like negligence, is a fine. Get like $1,000 fine, maybe $2,000. At least we're entertaining as well the office workers. So they got the cameras on us. They got the cameras over there. And I'm simply just trying to tell the truth about what happens with our food system. I don't have a drone. No drone. That's for the rich people in the room. No, they're not good. Guys, tell me where you're from. Also, tell me who's vegan in the chat. Hit 1 if you are. No, I'm not trans. What does that have to do with anything? Ah, now you see the animal exploiters come out, huh? Can't be half vegan, Ella. You can't be half vegan. That makes no sense. Go in Discord and discuss it with Chip. He'll have a discussion with you right now if you want. Or go in the Discord and somebody else will have a discussion with you. Guys, the smell out here is rancid. It's absolutely disgusting out here. This isn't a community. There's children who play in the park over here. There's a slide. There's a tennis court. There's like a little sitting area, and it reeks. Can you imagine that's your childhood growing up in this area? The downtown is just right here. I mean, it's awful. It's disgusting. It smells. It normalizes violence. Guarantee higher crime rates here. Actually, there's a jail here, so maybe that makes sense. There's a penitentiary here, so maybe that's why there's a jail here. Probably maybe some of the workers that have been normalized to violence have become violent, and maybe they're the ones in the jail. So, and once again, I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I work for the Canadian government, 15 and a half years. I worked in various roles, 6 to 8 years-ish in slaughterhouses. I became very sick. Most workers become sick, go figure. Most workers will have musculoskeletal issues. Some will contract pathogens, well, most of them will. Some will have surgeries, a lot of them will. Some suffer diseases and get sick and have to retire early or have to leave the job because they've been traumatized. I mean, all these things are normalized in this industry. It's very normal for that stuff to happen. You're essentially using temporary foreign workers for something you would never do. So you're using modern day slaves to kill babies, female babies, especially chickens, which are all the ones that are really killed to eat, right? So you're eating disabled babies, guys. Eating disabled female babies, which is pretty weird, right? Yeah, it is solid MK. Do you work in here? Are you on the kill floor? Are you a temporary foreign worker? Because most of the people in this place are temporary foreign workers. Most of the people are marginalized. Most of the people are racialized. That's this entire community. Look at us. I mean, Chip's provided all the information here. Well, what makes them disabled is they can't even carry their own body weight. Well, Wesley, they can't. Their legs grow too big. Their breasts grow too big. Their thighs grow too big. Oftentimes they're falling on their backs. They can't get up. You can just see. You can see some of the legs are longer, bigger, thicker. Even on the kill floor, when they would hang them up, sometimes they would only be able to hang them up with one leg because the other leg was too big and too deformed. So they would hang them up with one leg, but that always meant that the cut on the neck potentially wouldn't go there. So that because that baby was genetically engineered, oftentimes the worker that was responsible probably wouldn't have time to stop the line to make sure that their neck was cut in order to go into the skull tank or that their head would reach the electrical bath. So this is very normal for the industry. Many times you'll see just one leg hanging on one of those shackles. Eating baby boys, backwood breaks, that's weird. I don't eat animals that had boners, that's weird. Well, they either get electrocuted or they get gassed. They're moving to gas, so CO2 gas. If you go watch documentary called Dominion the Movie, or if you go watch a movie called Pignorant, you can see the gas process, or you can go to Joey Carbstrong's YouTube channel. He's actually exposed a gas chamber chicken house. So what that does is it burns. It's like if you can imagine lighting yourself with a lighter, that's how it would feel all over your body and in your lungs. The UK government actually declared, I believe it was the UK government or Europe, declared gassing pigs as inhumane. But they didn't stop it because it was too economically crippling to the industry, so they kept it going. So you think about that for a minute. A government claims that it's wrong to do, bad to do, but because it would cost the economy too much, they're just going to continue to do it. And that's the truth of it all, right? Because most people don't know. Most people are just going to believe what they're told, pasture raised, free run, free range, organic, high welfare. Most people are going to believe these words. They even believe words like steak or bacon. So most people aren't going to care, right? They're just going to be like, oh, I'm doing my part. The government's taking care of me. But this is far from the truth, right? It's a violent industry. We're creating violence, right? We're allowing violence to be normalized in our society, which is ridiculous. So once again, I'm at a place called Sargent Farms. They claim to be halal, yet they have factory farm babies. If you look at their website, they talk about respecting animals, not eating animals that aren't clean, that are free of disease, all these things. This is far from the truth. Most of the animals you eat, namely the chicken females that you eat, because they're all females that you eat, they have pathogens. They'll have bugs. They'll have dermatitis. Their breasts will be burned from the ammonia living in the sheds. Their legs will be warped. They're all genetically engineered to grow as fast as possible. I mean, these are all normal things that happen in this industry, and people, I don't understand why people are so mad. It's just the truth, right? Just the fucking truth of it all. It's actually what happens. So what's the problem? I don't understand why I can't talk about it in the terms that I want to talk about it in. I mean, if you saw what I saw, I think you'd probably say the exact same thing. I mean, it's not rocket science. Like, they suffer inside these places. They have respiratory issues, like pigs, for example. Most pigs will develop a cough weeks out before they're sent to slaughter. So they're given antibiotics, and then the antibiotics supposedly gets out of their system. Most pigs will develop porcine epidemic diarrhea. Go look that one up, guys. The animals that you eat had diarrhea. I mean, think about it for a second. So they have most of the animals that you eat, probably all of them. I mean, talk about cancer, you talk about dermatitis, you talk about all these other diseases, cellulitis, you talk about all these things. Exactly, it's soy, not boy. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, if you want to eat animals, and if they want to make a profit, they're going to genetically engineer them. They're going to make them as big as possible, and you're going to eat them. I mean, they're all females at the end of the day. They're not going to stop macerating the boys. It wouldn't be economically viable to keep the boys around. All mother cows are going to be shot in the face and have their babies stolen, and the bull's going to be wanked off over and over and over and over. And you're going to suck on their cow's milk because you think you're a fucking cow when you're a human, which is weird. I mean, I said it the other day to somebody, why don't you suck on your mom's breast milk? And they're like, ew. I'm like, bro, you suck on a cow's tits breast milk. Like, what are you talking about? Like, guys, if you are still on the tit, I will tell you, I'm gonna send you a pacifier and a blankie and a bottle of warm oat milk. You can shove that in your gullet, your face, and stop exploiting innocent cows. He sounds like a vegan. Well, Ellie, you're not a cow. I mean, if you want to, or if you want to consume hormones, cholesterol, if you want to risk yourself getting Crohn's disease, there's a potentiality there. If you want to risk getting avian influenza, tuberculosis, sure. If you want to risk E. coli, if you want to risk breast cancer or colorectal cancer, then maybe you want to risk that for drinking a little bit of cow's secretions inside your tea. Ellie, that makes no sense. Guys, been here for a while. Hit that like, hit subscribe, tell all your friends. Go out to your local freaking slaughterhouse and smell that shit. That's what you're eating. You're eating that smell. I'm not being paranoid. Dustin, go. This guy drinks. Look at Matt. Matt, eh? Do you sleep with a sucky too? 2 gallons of milk a week. Oh my God. What's wrong with you, bro? That's fucked up. You should literally, dude, you should really walk around with a sucky all day long. This guy, fucking, Cody and I are laughing, man. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Like, wow. How brainwashed are you, bro?
He thinks he's a baby cow.
He thinks he's a baby cow. I mean, do you go around on all fours too, bro? You raised... So, Dustin, did you kill them too? Did you kill them? Did you shoot them in the face? Or did you build relationships with them? Give them names? Did you befriend them and then kill them? I mean, crazy. Like Romel for sure sucks on cow's milk. I
think they need a sucky.
Romel needs a sucky for sure. Maybe Romel, next time you come to one of my events, I'll give you a big sucky. You're gonna have to suck on it. Pacifier, if you don't know what that means. Why would I go eat Redemption? Why would I go eat a disabled baby female that has disease, that's a rotten corpse? No thanks. By the way, guys, if you're eating like Chick-fil-A and all those things, you know that crunch? That's dermatitis that you're eating, eh? Dermatitis, and like, you know, like when you're eating inside the flesh and there's like that little ball of, you think it's fat? That's tumors, guys. You are eating baby tumors. Good for you. Disgusting. It's not, Flint. I'm an ex-inspector, I know. I would see those tumors inside the bodies, bro. You know how fast those line speeds go? You think a human can watch three birds per second? 180 birds per minute? You think a human can actually check that out? And not even a vet, by the way. These are the employees. Yeah, bro. Sure, buddy. Look at this death truck. Imagine you were shoved in a crate. Feces and urine all over the road here. Look at that. Disgusting. Gee, I wonder why we have pandemics, huh? I wonder how we got Guys, I wonder how pandemics start. Sure.
Yeah. And I just want to say right now that the smell here is really horrible and disgusting. And I wish everyone watching this could smell how bad it is here.
It really is.
And like, think about like all of the diseases that come with this, and like
Oh
all
my
of these unsanitary conditions that these animals live in, living in their own filth, living in their own piss and excrement. And then you eat that and you think that it's healthy, but it's not good.
It's not good. You can contract pathogens like E. coli, Salmonella, Campylobacter. Even just contracting one of those pathogens, you're at a reduced lifespan, and most people will contract one. You'll get the shits. Sometimes it lays dormant in your body. Sometimes you'll develop cysts in your spine. Sometimes you'll develop other neurological problems. But hey, people don't want to confront that, right? They don't want to. They'll just say I had food poisoning. That's another fancy euphemism on saying how it is. People will call it food poisoning, if you can imagine.
It's not food, it's someone's dead body.
Yeah, it's violence. Yeah, it's someone's dead body. An interesting story. I was coming back on my flight, and I know WestJet. By the way, WestJet, why do you hate vegans? WestJet, Air Canada, you guys hate vegans. Why do you hate vegans? So I was coming back from a flight, and WestJet, of course, they didn't have a plant-based option because they hate animals and they hate vegans. And so, they walked by and asked me if I wanted the chicken, the baby female chicken, 42-day-old chicken. I said, no, I don't want that. And they were like wondering why. I said, I'm vegan. They're like, oh, sorry, we don't have that. No shit, you don't. I already called the fucking hotline and you guys don't have it, right? So anyways, the person beside me was like, hey, listen, I overheard you. Are you vegan, by the way? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And she's like, oh my God, I'm vegan as well. So this person had been vegan for, I think, 25 years. And her daughter was born vegan. And so when her daughter's asked if she wants animal flesh, she says, I don't eat animals, I eat food. Why did I say 40-day-old chicken? Detroit River Master. That's how old the animals are that you eat. They're babies. I mean, how else would this industry make money if they let them live longer than that? They fatten them up, they genetically engineer them, and they make them as big as possible, and they're all females. They grow the breasts out and the thighs out as big as possible, and then you eat them at 42 days old. 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. So they go through that experience. They can't even move. They're disabled babies, bro. Stop eating disabled babies. Honestly, that's disgusting. Think about it. Yeah, and that came from a 5-year-old, Alicia. 5-year-old said, I don't eat animals, I eat food. Can you imagine?
Because animals are living beings.
Yeah,
just like us.
Detroit River.
They're not food.
Yeah.
Right.
The more you learn, Detroit, I'm just saying. Although the Red Wings need to be a bit better. I can't believe they lost last night. 2 penalties. Those are ridiculous calls. Anyways, we're here to talk about the animals. Cigarettes and heroin. Why would I mean, people turn to heroin because they work in these industries, bro. Bray Miller, how's it fake? What experience do you have? Do you want to compare resumes? Bray, do you want to go live on a debate and discuss these things? Go to the English Hub and you can discuss things over there, and you guys can learn a little bit and see what the animals experience and what they go through. It's really awful. I think a lot of people, maybe your defenses are up, and I can understand that. I'm a bit of a dick sometimes, but I'm just trying to stand up for the animals. I've seen it firsthand. If you guys saw the things that I did, you'd be out here too if you learned that you didn't have to eat animals. It's ridiculous what we do to them. We confine them, they get tortured. People take their frustrations out on them. You wouldn't believe what some of these farmers do. I'll tell you a story, and this is more common than you think. Farmers will hang pigs. They'll sacrifice, they call it a sacrifice. They'll sacrifice a pig, they'll hang them, and they'll leave the pig hanging there in front of the other pigs so that way the other pigs can fly, so they can move them around from place to place to place. Pigs are treated so horrifically. The only day a pig is going to see the sun or the air, smell some fresh air, is the day of their death here, at least where I am. They're all going to be put onto a death truck and go and be put into a CO2 gas chamber, if you can believe that. They're put into a gas chamber. We have cameras inside gas chambers to show exactly what they go through, what they experience. And as I was saying earlier, the UK government, I think it was the UK government, was saying that it's cruel to put animals in there, but they can't stop it because it's not economically viable to change. So can you imagine paying for animal torture? And that's just what happens, guys. It's the reality. If you guys pay for this is what's going to happen, and you can't get away from it. I mean, people talk about welfare way or humane way. It's wild because, a lot of vets will put down dogs, put down cats, they'll euthanize them, right? Well, you know, they don't do that with the animals in the slaughterhouse industry. They can't, right? Well, I'm not saying that farmers don't work hard. I'm just saying they can work harder in different industries, Ryan. They don't have to. They get little money anyway. They're exploited as well by the big man, right? I mean, who's profiteering off these industries? Think about it. The stockholders, the shareholders, the guy in the fucking boat right now who's laughing at the workers and the 42-day-old chickens that got murdered just so he can get another fucking boat or get a bigger house or bigger car. Like,
Yeah, just eat a vegan burger.
I mean, it's simple. Exactly. Eat a plant-based burger. It's like, it's not really that difficult. You just drop the ego. That's it. All you got to do is drop the ego. Go to challenge22.com. They're going to give you recipes. They're going to give you meal ideas. They're going to give you the whole thing. And I wish I had that when I first went plant-based. I didn't even know I didn't even know the word veganism. All I knew is I just did not want to be a part of this industry because I saw the files and files and files of all these animals that were tortured and inside the confines of the law in the government office that I worked in that nothing was done about. Hundreds and hundreds of files just sitting there in cabinets because the government was too scared to go at it with big industry. That's what it is. And big industry owns this whole shit. And you guys want to, there's people that like talk about, oh, fuck these corporations, fuck these rich people. You know, you're supporting them by paying for this industry, guys. Essentially, that's what you're doing. You're supporting, you know, like Cargill. Look at Cargill. What do they do? I mean, they're one of the richest families in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
No, don't keep ranching, Bray. See, this is the thing. You probably befriended some of those animals, and you've just been conditioned. Do you just drop them off at slaughter, Bray? Or do you stab them in the throat yourself? Do you shoot them in the face, Bray?
This guy says, I am 100% a carnivore.
Yeah, sure you are, buddy. This guy says he's a carnivore. Well, then why are you on Discord? Or why are you on YouTube? Get out in the wild, bro. Go do your natural thing.
Why don't you live in a cave if you're a carnivore? And why do you have a phone?
Why do you have a phone? Why aren't you eating animals while they're alive instead of eating them when they're dead? Do you salivate when you see roadkill? These guys, right? They want to believe in the Jordan Peterson myth. And now look at Jordan Peterson, right? His daughter told him just to eat meat, and look at him. He's suffering with health conditions. Guys should eat a freaking salad, man. Yeah, Detroit. Oh, so you know about Cargill. Yeah, I worked in there as well. It used to be called Better Beef, and I don't know if you remember the penitentiary that was beside that place. So that's everywhere, Detroit. So that'll be immigrants in all the slaughterhouses. I mean, even when I worked at Maple Lodge, and I went to Cargill, I went to what's it called, Conestoga Meats, and what's the other one? There's another one. I think it's closed down, the Riding Regency one. It was, yeah, Maple Leaf, yeah, and that one too, the one in Toronto, that's right, the chicken one that shut down. It was all immigrants, it's all refugees, it's all marginalized communities, of course, because like I said earlier, it's not going to be college, university educated people, right? It's just going to be, it's going to be people that...
uneducated.
Yeah, people that just, like, they don't have the language skills. Meadow says the pigeons work for the CIA. You know, sometimes I wondered that too, you know, the birds, I don't know, sometimes the way they look, right? Guys, please go check out the videos that Chip's been putting in. Please go check out the 3-minute movie challenge. Watch Dominion the movie. You know, listen to these stories like guys beating the cattle off the truck. They do. I mean, you just go look on my Instagram. You see how triggered they are. One guy, like even on Friday after my stream, this guy's ramming the cow to get off the truck. Well, the cow's been on the truck for possibly 30 plus hours. Who knows? And of course, the cow's kind of scared to get out. And you're yelling at him, screaming at him, like, what do you expect? And they just treat him like complete garbage. Who cares? Well, a lot of people care, Unvaxxed King. A lot of people care. Ben, don't worry about it. Let them troll away. It boosts the algorithm a bit. Yeah, well, it is cruel. I mean, remember, this is the stuff that you guys have seen. Imagine that on a scale of 92 billion animals. Imagine that in the scale of these massive CAFOs, these massive sheds, all these pig farms, all these chicken farms, all these cow farms. I mean, it's insane. The numbers are astronomical. The amount of violence that's allowed, it's no wonder why we live in a violent society. It makes a lot of sense, is what I'm getting at.
And the crime rate as well near slaughterhouses.
Yeah, so Cody pointed that out. The crime rate around slaughterhouses,
Yeah, drug use,
alcohol, all these things, right? People are more like, if you actually look up the studies, more inclined to do like SA and grape. That's kind of standard across the board, and the psychology behind that is if people are doing certain things to animals, that it just becomes normal for them to do a little bit more, and then maybe take that out on human beings as well. Well, I think like we need individual change as well as like obviously political will. I think if there's enough of us that speak up and stand out, we will. Well, Meadow, like, if you start to look at the individuals, I would go to a sanctuary, bro. Go to a sanctuary, visit the pigs, man. They're cute. They're cute as fuck. They're awesome to be around. They're just little guys. Some are smarter than dogs. They're little guys. They just want to hang out. They want a belly rub. Go watch sanctuary footage. Go to a sanctuary, bro. There's one near you, I guarantee. You know, turkeys are very inquisitive too. I call them the supervisors. When you go to a sanctuary, they stand around and they watch what you're doing. So if you're piling shit somewhere, if you're whatever, you know, they're kind of just watching you. They're very cool. Yeah, guys. So I think I'm probably gonna end her a bit soon. I think we've been out here for quite a bit, and aw.
Yeah, I think it smells.
Yeah. And people are eating that.
42 days old. They're all females that you eat. All of them. Every single bird you eat is a female. Yep. Just letting people know about their food system. Yeah. Leave them alone, guys. Very easy to do. If a guy like me can figure it out, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of smart people in this chat that can figure it out. I'm just a simple guy, you know, just trying to share with the world what's happening. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to move away from. It's not rocket science. I mean,
it's not complicated.
It really isn't. I mean, you just swap out the meal here, there, then you figure out some new ideas, new stuff. Like a lot of you guys are against animal testing and stuff too. I mean, you just look for the rabbit on the seal. You start to learn a little bit about that. It's really not that hard.
People, they just want to make excuses, though, for their actions.
Yeah, they do. They really do. Because, I mean, like, think about it, right? Then you have to admit that you were doing wrong, right? For a long time. So you have to admit that maybe there's something wrong. Well, you know, we look for organic and vertical farming, Detroit. A lot of the stuff the reason that we're using chemicals and pesticides and herbicides and stuff like that is because we're spraying the feces everywhere. Like, cow shit is like a co-product. When we can just have veggie inputs and stuff like that, other types of fertilizer, we can do organic farming and vertical farming, precision fermentation. I mean, we can do all that. There just needs to be more will, and then you wouldn't have to worry about shitty crops being grown. You can actually grow like really nutrient dense food that's healthy for everyone that wasn't growing in shit. And then also the side effects of that, you wouldn't have shit going into the streams and the rivers. And you know, when you go out to you go for a ride in the farmers' fields or these cities. I mean, think about it, right? When you drive out to these places, it smells like shit. It smells like this slaughterhouse right here. Actually, the slaughterhouse smells worse. And this is in a community, guys. This is in a there's houses here. There's children that play in these parks. And around here, they play tennis over here. This is normalized violence, guys. We can get away from it. So guys, if you have any questions, last minute questions, I'm gonna leave in about 5 minutes. I think I'm gonna call it. What do you guys think? Is that cool? You've been hearing enough of my yappingness?
Well, and the store is going to be open very interesting.
Yeah, so the store is actually opening up in about
People are
17
waiting
minutes,
to-
right?
People are waiting to buy body parts.
Yeah, people here are waiting to buy some body parts, to buy some female birds, because that's,
Mutilated baby.
well, they're all female, right? Right? Every single one of them is female. All the males are executed day one of life, generally, right? They're thrown into a giant macerator, so.
Yeah, they're blended up alive.
Yes. Well, guys, listen. My buddy Chip, he is streaming in 15 minutes, so this is like the perfect segue. Guys, if you are interested in any of this, or if you wanted to continue to troll, you go over to my guy, that Chip guy. He's on in about 15 minutes. And you guys can do the exact same thing here. Chip's going to be talking to people in the street, though. He's going to be trying to get people to think about, their lifestyle and what they do, and if their actions align with their values. So you wake up this early to stand outside a closed store and ramble. Yes, WRX16, exactly. And I had 108,000 views, but I was actually able to see more animals last time, and I was outside a tannery. If you go back to my last stream, it was a little bit more action-packed. Had a guy yell at me, had other people swear at me, had someone slam a door on me.
People are triggered because you're getting the truth out there.
Yeah. The stoner goat. He's just catching up to the stoner goat 420. Listen, I go on the lighter kush, bro. I think you're probably a little bit too high right now. I'm gonna highly recommend that you get a lung cleanse, because clearly your brain's not working too well. If you go back to my last stream and the other ones, so I'm at like 500,000 over the last few months, so which is pretty decent, I would say, for someone that isn't really a professional, who just maybe swears a bit too much, and I don't know, sometimes doesn't have the most coherent thoughts. Was a bit triggered, as like the one dude was saying, but I think they were actually triggered. The best, LOL. This guy definitely knows. No, I have smoked in the past. It was more coping mechanisms, but I don't smoke now. Yes, Alicia, thank you so much for being here. Easy deflection on the stoner guy. Now it's 500. Yeah, dude, since June. If you look at, it's really not that complicated. The stoner goat. If you need me to write you out a set of directions, I can do that. So all you do, am I going too fast for you? All you do is go look at my lives for the last few months, and you will see stoner guy. Is that too fast? That's dumb. There's a lot of dumb people here now. I guess maybe Stoner has some friends. No, just kidding, guys. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. Go check out that Chip guy. He's going to be on in less than 15 minutes. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to take off because it smells like absolute shit here. Who wants to inhale that shit? We're just showing the truth here. Fish farming before you. It's, Detroit River. So sometimes they'll feed fish actual bone and soy. They're chopping down rainforests just to feed fish soy, factory farm fish. And if you look at what they live in and the conditions they live in, the fecal material that they live in, they literally live in a soup bath full of feces, and people eat that shit. Also, like most of the fish that was tested, at least when I was working, doesn't get tested. I mean, it's impossible to test that much fish. Not enough inspectors. So you would do a random sample. If it would fail, then you give them a second chance, a third chance. sometimes even. So, or they would fail and then they would just go through another border. They would change their name, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, there's a lot to deal with fish. 2 trillion to 3 trillion. They measure by tons. It's really awful what we're doing to the oceans. I mean, all for, you know, like people talk about omega-3s and stuff. You can get algae supplements and stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, guys, I'm out of here.
I'll say something.
Thank you so much. Cody's gonna take us out, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Cody.
Hi everyone. So I just wanted to say that places like this that kill animals every single day should not exist, and they should be shut down because we don't need to be eating dead animal body parts, baby animals. They deserve to live and they do not want to die. So watch the documentaries and see what happens. Watch Dominion, watch Earthlings, and go to these places, go to slaughterhouses, and you will smell the horrible smell, and you'll see the atrocity that is taking place.
Thank you, Cody. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on the next one.